This time I'm going to teach you list of headings. In academic IELTS reading, we can get list of heading in section 1 or 2 or 3, but it will come only in one section. It will not be repeated. Okay? In general training IELTS, we only get list of headings in third section. Right? Now, for list of headings, it is important whenever you get this question type, it is important to read the title of the passage. And if you've already done some questions, so that means you are familiar, right? If list of heading comes in section 1, in order to find the match of that heading, you should focus the first 2-3 sentences, because it is not overly complicated when there is list of heading in section 1. If it is in section 3, then you have to go around the paragraph to find where the match is, right? But first of all, you are going to read and interpret the headings. Very important. Students only read the headings. They don't interpret. What is interpret? I'm going to tell you. Please come to list of headings. Heading number 1, no single definition of intelligence. Now you know in one paragraph we learned define. Just wait, we're just reading. I'm just telling you how to read. So when they say no single definition of intelligence, that means this heading will go to the paragraph where they give us the definition of intelligence. Is that clear? Heading number 2, faulty testing, wrong conclusion. A paragraph where they tell us about the testing which was faulty and the result of that was also wrong. Heading number 3, Welch research supports IQ testing. We read Welch somewhere, but we need to make sure. You know, sometimes what do they do? In list of headings, there are always extra headings. If there are 6 questions, there will be 8 headings. If there are 7 questions, there will be 9 or 10 headings. Right? So those 2 to 3 headings are extra. And those extra headings just cover very one sentence. Extra heading never covers the main idea of the paragraph. It only covers one sentence. And unfortunately, if you find that sentence and you match it there, you say, this is so easy. I found it easily. You need to make sure if that sentence is the main idea of that very paragraph. So anyways, Welch research supports IQ testing. Heading number 4, beware, inadequate for testing intelligence. Beware means word of caution. Does it ring a bell? Yes, somewhere we read it. Okay. So when list of heading comes in section 1, it is not overly complicated. Heading number 5, international research supports bilingualism. In 2 paragraphs, we found Canada, USA, and then they talked about continents, but we need to make sure where they talk about supports bilingualism. Heading number 6, current thought on the advantage bilinguals have. Current thought means latest research. Current thought means today's research, recent research. Heading number 7, early beliefs regarding bilingualism. Early beliefs means a paragraph where they tell us in the 18th century people used to believe, past tense. Heading number 8, monolinguals ahead of their bilingual peers. So in a paragraph they say monolinguals are ahead of their bilingual class fellows and all that. Heading number 9, exemplifying the bilingual advantage. If you noticed in one paragraph they said for example. Exemplifying means they give an example. So now we've read all the headings. So please, you can see paragraph A and answer is already given. Okay, when one paragraph and one answer is given, first of all cross that answer from the list. Heading number 7, cross it from the list. Don't read heading number 7 because one heading will be used once only. It will not be used second time. So they have already given example, paragraph A, heading number 7, cross heading number 7 so that you don't even read it as an option. Now we've got paragraph B. All of you please come to paragraph B and keep the heading. And by the way, at this point, as you read all the headings, you don't remember them. But when something clicks, then you will come to know, yes, there is a heading, I read about that. Okay, so that is somewhere in your subconscious mind. Paragraph B, please. The idea that bilinguals may have a lower IQ still exists among many people, particularly monolinguals. However, we now know that this early research was misconceived and incorrect. Faulty testing. Okay, this early research was misconceived and incorrect. And then they say, if you go on, first such research often gave bilinguals an IQ test in their weaker language, usually English. Had bilinguals been tested in Welsh or Spanish or Hebrew, a different result may have been found. That testing of bilingual was thus unfair. So, faulty testing, and then in the last paragraph they talk about results were more likely to be due. So, it's faulty testing and wrong result. Which heading is that? Clear? Okay, so for list of headings, you don't need to read all the paragraph, you need to skim read it. Skim reading means reading quickly, so that, like, you know, sometimes you skim read the newspaper. You are getting late, so you skim read the newspaper, you're looking for something, so you can skim read that. So for paragraph B, question number 4, answer is 2. Now cross heading number 2 from the list. Otherwise, you will read it several times and that will waste your time. So this goes to time management. When you select a heading, just cross it from the list. And if you select one wrong heading, 2 answers will be wrong. If that heading is a trap, then 1 answer will be wrong only. Now let's do one more together. Paragraph C. The most recent research. Match it with something. Most recent research from Canada, United States and Wales. But focus most recent research. It's actually heading number 6. And there is a trap also. Heading number 6 is current thought on the advantage bilinguals have. But when you see most recent research, Canada, United States, Wales, your mind will be tempted to international. That is heading number 5. Heading number 5 is international research supports bilingualism. But actually it is most recent research. So it's current thought on the advantage bilinguals have. So for paragraph C, the right heading is 6. And you will write 6 as Roman number. Do not write English 6, because in list of headings only they use Roman numbers. So you're supposed to write that. Okay guys, let's come to paragraph D. One note of caution, warning, beware. Which heading? Heading number 4. And let me tell you, don't be surprised, list of headings is not this much simple when it comes to section 3. Because this is section 1, that's why it is simpler than the other sections. Okay, now paragraph E. Many questions need answering. Do we only define an intelligent person? Then question mark, definitions, how we define it. So which heading? Heading number 1 is no single definition of intelligence. Right? Do we define it like this or that? So you can cross heading number 1 also, and it goes with paragraph E. Now let's take a look at paragraph F. The current state of psychological wisdom about the bilingual children is that where 2 languages are relatively well developed, bilinguals have thinking advantage over monolinguals. Take an example. In the remaining part of the paragraph, he is only exemplifying. Exactly. This is heading number 9. Heading number 9 is exemplifying the bilingual advantage. Clear? Again, I'm telling you, if you think this test is easy, no. In section 1, list of heading is always like that. And by the way, in section 3 also, method is same, type is same, but you just need to pay some more attention. Okay, next we've got last, heading number G. research across different continents of the world? International research. So for question number 9, paragraph G, what is the answer? 5. And you will write 5 as V, exactly, Roman number. Is that all clear? So listen up, I'll summarize how to deal with list of headings. Whenever there is list of headings, first of all, read the passage, the title of the passage. And by the way, you can use another approach. Try to do other questions also. Because when you do other questions and you come back to list of headings, you'll be familiar with the passage. Number 1. Number 2, you can do another thing. When you are doing list of headings, before that, read the other questions in the section also. Why? Because for list of headings, you have to go across the passage, all the passage. So if you read other questions, at least you can locate where the answers are. One thing. And otherwise, read the title. Whenever you start a new section, in 1 minute, you must dissect the passage. Have you ever dissected the frog? In the lab, metric class, 9th, 10th, right? So in the same way, you will dissect the passage in less than a minute, and then read the headings carefully, and do not just read the headings, read and interpret. That if the heading is no single definition of intelligence, it means in a paragraph they will be giving definitions of intelligence, and then they say there is no single way. Intelligence is this, intelligence is that. Some people say intelligence is that. So this is how you can interpret that. All right. All the best. Thank you.